Imagine this, someone just fill out your Typeform and then instantly a new deal is created over the Pipedrive and your team is getting notification on the Slack. Sounds amazing, right? So hello everyone, welcome to Pabbly. So in this video we are going to learn how to capture Typeform leads in Pipedrive and notify sales team by Slack, and we are going to build this automation by using Pabbly Connect. So as you can see, our automation starts with the trigger that is Typeform. So as soon as a new form submission will be received, a new deal will be created over the Pipedrive and the team will get notification on the Slack. So now let's start building this no coding automation. So for that, let's move on towards my screen. Alright, so let's test the automation which I have already built in. So right before you on my screen, you can see I have integrated all these applications, that is Typeform, Pipedrive and Slack, and I have built this automation for showing you the working of this automation. So now let's move on to my Typeform for receiving a new lead which is going to act as a trigger. So here I'm going to fill this Typeform, that is my demo form. So here I'm going to provide my first name as smart, last name as user, and email as smartuser@pabblytudes.com, and here I'm going to provide my phone number as well. And now I'm going to submit this form by simply selecting this submit button, and here you can see my form has been successfully submitted. Now let's move on to my Pipedrive account to check whether I'm receiving a deal over there or not. I'm on this page that is deals, and here you can see I'm successfully receiving this deal which I have recently entered over my Typeform, that is new deal smart user, and here you can see its details, that is phone number, email smartuser@pabblytudes.com, its first name smart and last name user. So this shows that the first step of the automation which I have already built in is working properly. Now let's move on to my Slack account to check whether my team is getting notified there or not. And here you can see I'm landed to my Slack account where I'm on this channel, that is Typeform, and here I'm successfully receiving the details of my lead, and my team is getting notified with the details of the lead which I have recently filled over my Typeform. So now you can see that the automation which I have already built in is successfully working, and now I'm going to show you how you can build this amazing automation for scaling up your own business step by step. So for building this automation, you have to access Pabbly Connect, and for accessing the Pabbly Connect, you just have to type its URL over the new tab, that is pabbly.com/connect, and once you will enter the URL, you will be getting the landing page of Pabbly, and here you can see we are getting two options, that is sign in and sign up free. So if you are a new user, you can simply click over the sign up free, but if you are an existing user, you can simply click over the sign in. And if you sign up your account for free over the Pabbly Connect, you get 100 free tasks every month for practicing Pabbly Connect. Now before moving on forward towards building this setup, I am going to tell you about Pabbly Community. So here you can see this is the page of Pabbly Community where automation users, marketers and business owners gather to share their ideas, ask questions and get relevant update regarding using the Pabbly applications. So you can also join Pabbly Community now and grow your business with us. And if you wish to join the Pabbly Community, you can find link in the description given below. Now let's move on to my Pabbly Connect again, and here I'm going to simply select this sign in, and once you finish a sign up, you will be getting this all Pabbly apps page where you can see these are the products provided by Pabbly. And as we are going to integrate some applications, we will be using this Pabbly Connect app which can integrate different applications and start automating your work. So for automating this task, we have to access this app by clicking on this access now button, and we will be landed to the dashboard page of Pabbly Connect, which can be seen here. And on this dashboard page, you can see these are the folders I have created, and inside these folders I have created many workflows by integrating different applications. So if you also want to create your own folder, you simply have to click over this create a new folder button, and here you have to provide the folder name, and if you want, you can even select the parent folder as well. And at last, you just have to click over this create button and your folder will be created. And now I am going to create a workflow. So for that, you simply have to click over this create workflow button, and here you will be getting this option for selecting the workflow builder. So here we are getting two workflow builder, that is beta, which is modern, faster and more flexible, and another workflow builder we are getting is classic, which will provide you stable and familiar approach. So here I'm going to use this newly launched workflow builder beta. So now let's click over this select button, And here we are getting this dialog box where you have to enter the workflow name. So now let's provide a name to my workflow here. So here I am providing it the name capture Typeform leads in Pipedrive and notify sales team by Slack. And afterwards I am going to select my folder as automation. Now let's click over this create button, and here you can see we are receiving this pop-up and we are successfully landed to a workflow page where you can observe this option of adding the trigger. Now you might be thinking, what is this trigger? So trigger is our first application or the application which is going to initiate a workflow. So in this case I want to initiate my workflow as soon as I receive a new lead over my Typeform. So now you can say that I'm going to select my trigger app as Typeform. So now let's click over this add trigger button, and here we are landed to this trigger setup page where I'm going to search for the Typeform. So now let's type its name, and here you can see I'm getting this application which I'm going to select, and afterwards I'm going to select my app event as new entry. Now let's click over this connect button, and here we are landed to this Typeform connection page where if you want to use your already built-in connection, then you can select your existing connection, and if you want to build a new connection, you can simply select this add new connection, and here you have to simply click over this connect with Typeform, and from here you have to select your Typeform account. So now I'm going to simply click over this accept button, and here you can see as I have clicked over this button, my connection has been created successfully and we are getting this field for selecting the form. So here I'm going to select the same form, but from this drop down you can select your form. Now I'm going to enable this toggle of simple response so that we can receive the response in simple format. Now let's click over the save and send test request, and here you can see it is waiting for the webhook response. So for providing the webhook response we have to do the test submission, and for doing the test submission, now let's move on to my Typeform and fill it. So here you can see this is my Typeform named as my demo form. So now I am going to fill this form again, providing my first name as demo, last name as user, email as demoUser@pabblytunes.com, and afterwards I am going to enter my phone number also. And now let's submit this form, and here you can see my form has been successfully submitted. Now let's move on to the Pabbly Connect for checking that whether we are receiving the response over there or not. So here you can see in my Pabbly Connect I am successfully receiving this response, that is response A, with all the fields which I have recently filled over my Typeform. So this shows that we have successfully added our trigger app and we can have only one trigger app. And now I am going to create a deal over the Pipedrive, but before that I have to create a person in Pipedrive. As for creating the deal I need person ID. So now for adding the action app you just have to click over this add new action step button, and here I am going to search for my action application, that is Pipedrive, and here you can see I'm getting this application which I am going to select, and afterwards I'm going to select my app event as create a person. Now let's click over this connect button, and here we are landed to this connection page. Now I'm going to build a new connection, so I will be selecting add new connection, and here it's asking me to enter the API token. So for getting this API token you can visit this help desk which will provide you the necessary steps for getting this API tokens. So now let's move on to my Pipedrive account for getting this API token. So here you can see I'm landed to my Pipedrive account where you can see this profiles option which you have to select, and you will be getting this option, that is personal preferences, which you have to select, and you will be landed to this accounts page where you just have to select this option of API and you will be getting your personal API token. So this is the personal API token which you have to paste over the Pabbly Connect, and it is going to act as a bridge between Pipedrive and Pabbly Connect for building the connection. So now let's copy it and paste it over the Pabbly Connect. So here I have pasted it. Now let's click over this save button, and here our connection has been created successfully and we are getting some of the fields. So the first field we are getting is for entering the name. So now I am going to enter the name. Now you might be thinking that I am going to manually do this, but no, I am going to perform mapping. Now you might be thinking, what is this mapping? So mapping is basically inserting the data from the previous step so that you don't have to enter your values again and again, as mapping makes the field dynamic. So here I am going to map the name of my lead from the response which I am receiving from Typeform, as this is my previous step. And the process of mapping is simple. You just have to select the field which you want to map, and from here you have to select the application which contains details. So here I am going to map it from the response which I am receiving from Typeform. So here you can see I am getting my first name, so I am going to map it, and afterwards I am going to provide the space and map my last name as well. So here I have mapped the name, and now we are getting this field, that is labels, which I am going to leave blank. And now I am going to map the phone number also. So here you can see this phone number which I am going to map, and now I am going to map the email in the same way. So here you can see that I am getting the email which I am going to map, and afterwards we are getting some of the fields which are not necessary, and now we are getting this field that is first name. Now I am going to map my first name again. So here you can see I am getting my first name, and afterwards I am going to map my last name also. So here I have mapped my last name also. So now we are done with the mapping, and these fields are dynamic, means these are going to change with every new submission received from your Typeform. Now let's click over the save and send test request, and here you can see we are getting a positive response, and here we are getting this field that is data ID, and this is the person ID which we have to map over our deal. So now I'm going to add my Pipedrive again for creating the deal. So now let's search for the Pipedrive, and here I'm getting this application, so I'm going to select it, and here I'm going to select my app event as create deal, as this time I'm going to create the deal. Now let's click over this connect button, and here I'm going to use my existing connection. So now let's click over the save button, and here we are getting some of the fields again. So the first field we are getting is for entering the title. So now I'm going to enter my title over here. So here on the title I'm going to map the name of my lead from the response which I am receiving from Typeform. So here I'm going to map the first name, and afterwards I'm going to map the last name, and now we are getting this field that is status. So from this drop down you can select the status, and the next field we are getting is for pipeline ID. So from this drop down you can select the pipeline ID. Now from here we are getting this field for selecting the organization, so I'm going to select this organization. Now we are getting this field that is asking me to enter the person ID. So now I'm going to map the person ID from the response which I am receiving from Pipedrive while I have created the person. So here I'm getting this data ID which I am going to map here, and now we are getting this field which is asking me to enter the probability. So here you can enter the probability between 1 to 100. So here I'm going to enter my deal success probability as 100. Now we are getting some of the fields which are not necessary. So now let's simply click over this save and send test request, and here you can see we are receiving a positive response which demonstrate that our deal might have created. So now let's move on to my Pipedrive account to check it. So here you can see in my Pipedrive account, I'm going to select this page, and in this page you can see I'm successfully receiving this deal, that is new deal demo user. So here you can see I'm getting the same name which I have recently entered over my Pabbly Connect, and here you can see its details, that is name is demo user, phone number, email that is demo user @pabblytunes.com, and here I'm getting the first name and the last name as well. So this shows that we have successfully created our deal. Now let's add one more action app to the Pabbly Connect for notifying our team in the Slack. So for that you simply have to click over this add new actions tab button, and you will be landed to this action setup page where I'm going to search for the Slack, as I'm going to notify my team by using Slack. So now let's select it, and afterwards I'm going to select my app event as send channel message. Now let's click over this connect button, and here we are landed to this connection page where if you want to use your existing connection then you can select your existing connection, and if you want to build a new connection then you have to select this button, that is add new connection, and here you have to simply click over this connect with Slack, and here it is asking me to enter the token type. So for getting the token type you can visit this help desk which says enter the token type either as user or bot. Check the documentation to find out how to get it. So now let's click over this learn more, and here you can see this is the documentation which will define the steps for getting your own token type. So now I'm going to enter my token type as user. So now let's type it, and now let's simply click over the save button. And from here you have to select the workspace. So I'm going to simply click over this install Pabbly Connect, and here our connection has been created successfully. So here I'm going to select my channel ID as Typeform. So now let's type its name, and here I'm getting this channel ID, so I'm going to select it, and afterwards we are getting this option for entering the message. So now let's enter the message which I'm going to send over my Slack channel. So here I have entered this message, and after this word name I'm going to map the name of my lead from the response which I'm receiving from Typeform. So here I'm going to provide the first name, and afterwards I'm going to provide the last name, and in this email field I'm going to map the email, and now on the phone number field, so here I'm going to map it. So with this I am done with my channel message also. Now we are getting some of the fields which are not necessary. So now let's simply click over the save and send test request, and here we are receiving a positive response which demonstrate that our connection might have built in. So now for checking it, let's move on to my Slack account with me. So here here you can see I'm landed to my Slack account, and here you can see I'm receiving this lead which I have recently entered over my Typeform account, that is having the name demo user, email demoUser@pabblytunes.com, and the phone number also. So now you can see that how easily I have built in this amazing automation which is creating deal in the Pipedrive and even notifying your team on the Slacks for the Typeform leads. So you can also create an amazing automation like this, which is going to automate your all tasks with just one setup, and this setup can be built within few minutes without even a single word coding. So what are you waiting for? Start using Pabbly Connect now and stay tuned to our YouTube channel for learning more about Pabbly and creating many more amazing automations like this. And if this video is really helpful, then hit the like and subscribe button, and I have added the link of the workflow in the description, so make sure to check it out. So thank you for watching this video. Not only this automation, you can build many more integrations like this by just using Pabbly Connect. So if you have any doubt, you can mail us at support@pabbly.com, and if you have any queries, you can post it over the forums.pabbly.com, and if you have any pricing related issue, then you can visit the URL given over here. So start using Pabbly Connect for free now.